Can art and geometry literally rewire your state of mind? It sounds a bit like sci-fi, right? Well, welcome to this explainer where we're going to blend neuroscience, sacred geometry, and digital art to explore a truly unique tool for focus. We're going to unpack exactly why a single, powerful visual affects the human mind the way it absolutely does. Let's get right into it.
So here's a foundational question that totally bridges the mystical with the hard science. Can what we focus our eyes on physically alter our neural state? I mean, can geometry and light actually cue the brain to slow down, focus, and basically optimize itself? The short answer? A resounding yes. And today, we're going to break down exactly how that works.
Section 1. The Luminous Azure Mandala and Neuro Journey Coaching. Okay, take a moment to really take in what you're seeing here. This is a captivating, glowing blue and black mandala. Notice that incredible symmetry and the sharp contrast between the absolute darkness and the brilliant light? It's gorgeous, sure, but it's vital to understand that this is so much more than just a beautiful piece of digital art. In the Neuro Journey Coaching framework, this acts as a scientifically grounded meditation anchor. It's literally a functional tool, specifically designed to catch your eye and gently guide your mind into a state of deep, deliberate focus. Section 2. Decoding the Sacred Archetypes. Let's decode the geometry.
To really grasp how this tool works on the brain, we can't just look at it as a single flat picture. We need to deconstruct it a bit. We can actually break the visual elements of this mandala down into 3 distinct layers. Working our way from the outside in, we've got the azure geometry, the crown of radiance, and finally, the void. So let's look at each of these individually.
First up, let's examine archetype 1. Notice the outermost edges here. See those intricate scalloped patterns of deep oceanic blue that sort of structure the entire piece? That is the azure geometry. In visual meditation, this outer rim basically acts as a container. It represents the foundation and structure of our focus. So when your mind wanders, and it will, it hits this complex, repeating boundary and is gently redirected right back toward the center. It gives a wandering mind the boundaries it needs to feel safe and contained.
Moving inward, focus your gaze on that brilliant, glowing ring of white and bright blue lights circling the center. This right here is archetype 2, the crown of radiance. Honestly, this is arguably the most commanding part of the whole mandala. It represents pure energy and active awareness. Visually speaking, these highly contrasted points of light act like a magnet for your optical nerve. They capture your active attention, giving your conscious, busy mind something super stimulating to hold on to, which, and here's the magic, allows the deeper parts of your brain to finally begin to relax.
Now look past those bright lights directly into that deep, uninterrupted black and dark blue circular core. This is archetype 3, the void. It is a pure invitation to complete stillness and inner resonance. Once that crown of radiance has captured your active attention, your gaze is just naturally drawn right into this smooth, featureless center. It's literally a visual representation of nothingness. It gives your brain permission to release all that external stimuli and just drop into a really profound state of rest.
So, having explored those mystical visual archetypes, the boundary, the energy, and the stillness, allow your mind to shift gears for a second. We're going to transition from the structure of the art to uncover the actual hard science behind staring at this specific thing.
Section 3. The neuroscience of entrainment.
The absolute crucial point here is brain entrainment. Now, interestingly enough, this phenomenon was first discovered way back in the 1600s by a physicist watching pendulum clocks synchronize, but it applies perfectly to the human brain. It's the physiological process where your brain actually syncs its own internal electrical cycles, your brain waves, to the rhythm of an external stimulus. Staring at highly structured, symmetrical visuals like the luminous azure mandala can literally guide your brain into this state. That repetitive geometry plus the stark contrast between the bright crown and the dark void creates a steady, predictable input for your visual cortex. Give it a few minutes of steady gazing and your brainwaves literally start mimicking the steady, balanced frequency of what you're looking at. You are essentially using geometry to tune your brain like an instrument. How cool is that?
Section 4. Achieving neuro-acoustic synergy by combining the senses.
Now, visual entrainment is incredibly powerful all on its own, but it becomes exponentially more effective when we layer things. Neuro-acoustic synergy is the amplified effect you get when you combine focused visual entrainment, like staring into our azure mandala, with targeted acoustic frequencies. By pairing the visual anchor of the mandala's bright lights and dark center with specific, rhythmic meditation sounds or binaural beats, the brain hits this incredibly powerful synchronized state. Your eyes process the geometry, your ears process the frequency, and together they rapidly accelerate neural state alteration and self-optimization. It's basically a dual pathway approach to achieving absolute deep focus. Section 5. Your visual meditation anchor and making this a daily practice.
So if you want to actually leverage this tool yourself, here's a structured, super simple approach to use during your next session. Step 1. Do not stare intensely. You're not trying to burn a hole through it. Instead, just soften your gaze on the bright lights of the crown of radiance. Let your peripheral vision casually take in that scalloped azure geometry. Step 2. As your eyes relax, naturally allow your visual focus to fall into the dark center, the void. Just let go of the need to look at anything specific. And Step 3. Sync this whole visual experience with a slow, deep breathing pattern. As you inhale, imagine drawing energy right from that radiant ring. And as you exhale, imagine sinking deeper into the absolute stillness of the void center.
When you apply this correctly, this single image is just a perfectly designed gateway. It's a real functional instrument for focused learning, for spiritual growth, and honestly, most importantly, for bringing all that frantic, energetic noise of a modern day down to an absolute centered stillness. The geometry holds you, the light focuses you, and the void rests you.
As you carry this visual anchor with you into your own practices, I'm going to leave you with a final thought to ponder. If simply focusing on a perfectly structured image can physically quiet your mind and alter your brainwaves, how deep can your neural potential truly go when it's guided by intention, sacred geometry, and focused science? The tools are right in front of your eyes. The journey is entirely yours to take.